Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm here, 6 o'clock hour. I'm Yolanda Hinton, and this is FYI After Dark. It is really good to be here. I want to first say welcome to everybody on Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We're live on all those platforms, and we come here Mondays at 6 o'clock p.m. I host FYI After Dark, but I also host FYI Morning Show live with my co host Ed Everett, and our platforms there are 95.3 FM, WGPL 1350 AM, WPCE 1400 AM, Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And we have a great show there. We're going to tell you more about that when our co host pulls himself in and just share a little bit about the morning show live. In the meantime, thank you all for joining us. I'm hoping that you all are here. Make sure you comment and like, make sure you share this feed after a while. I want to welcome our sponsors. First of all, Crystal Records, making beautiful music, is one of our sponsors. Make sure you check out www.cristorecords.com. That's Cristo records.com. You'll find music, you'll find FYI, you'll find Yolanda Hinton's new book, Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose. Check it out and let people know that it's there. We have some more things that we're going to be adding to it. In the meantime, our store is there, and you can also reach us through cristorecords.com. We have a new and exciting project that's going to be coming up later on in the year. We'll tell you more about it. You'll be able to find that information on cristorecords.com. And in the meantime, check it out and, get familiar with us. This show is sponsored by Crystal Records along with Beard Gods. And I want to welcome right now the CEO owner at Beard Gods, and that is Mr. Chris Hinton. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening. Thank you.
How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm doing good.
Okay, I can't hear you that well. You can turn your feed up.
I'm doing good. How about you?
Yes, I can hear you really good. I'm doing quite well. And you are a sponsor of this wonderful show, FYI After Dark. And I want you to tell everybody about yourself and about Beard Gods and the wonderful products that you have and where they can get them from.
Well, I'm an owner of .com. Started a business oils.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I need you to talk up a little bit, and I'll turn you up.
Okay. Let's see. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the owner of Beard Guys. Started a beard line company. The beard oil, beard balm, shampoos, conditioners.
We can't even. I can't hear Chris. I can't hear you. Still. You may have to turn your feet up just a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay. Just say testing or something so we can make sure the levels are up
Okay.
because your levels are going down. All right. Say something.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Yeah. Just make sure you stay directly in it because you keep going in and out.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Right there. Right there.
Okay. Right.
Okay, Chris, tell everybody about yourself. And we got to hear about this fabulous company, Beard Gods.
Yeah, so I'm the owner of Beard Guys. I started a company probably maybe 2 years in my head. I had everything written on paper. Um, and I finally last year I put in motion, and I had problems with my beard, and I had patchiness. I had dry skin, dry oil. It wasn't growing like I wanted to grow it, so I found some products that I like, and I went ahead and formulated my own, and that's how I came up with Beard Guides.
Okay. Yeah. Beard Gods was just birth actually, and how are things going? I mean, beard guards, you said you had a little problem with it with your own beard, and you decided that you would, go ahead and remedy the problem. Now, a lot of people have, a lot of guys have the same problem, and so
Right,
this line of product is absolutely necessary and timely because
right,
guys can really treat their beards now and make it healthy. And so that's the
right.
good thing about this product. Just tell us some individual the product line. Just tell us what's in the product line, and you can speak directly into that feed.
Well, I have beard oil, keep help, keep
Yeah, we can't hear you.
I have beard oil,
Uh huh.
beard balms. I have shampoos, conditioners. I have biotin. I have wooden pits. I've had hats and hoodies, apparel.
Very good. How hard or easy is it to start a new business?
Very hard, real hard. It's just when you're in the beginning stages, you're doing everything. So you're everybody. You're playing you have every hat. You're the promoter. You're the janitor. You're
Delivery creator.
the creator. So it's like you're the shipper. So you got to make every decision. You're the bank, and you're
Wow.
somebody you play every role. So yeah, it's kind of hard, but it's still it's a good pain. It's like exercise. It's a good pain. It hurts good because you see the benefits from it.
Absolutely. And then it's new. It's just like a newborn baby. Honey, talking about having a time adjusting to a new something new, and then then getting it out so everybody can love it, and then finding out, people love it, but then some are like, okay, I don't know about it. Let me find out more. And you have to go through those the pain of growing it. So,
Right. Right.
man, we want to say congratulations. Now, where can folk get your product?
Beardgods.com. www.beardgodz.com.
And if you also look at the banner, you'll see www.beardgods.com. And you all please rush. You guys, look, I'm finding out, Chris, that men don't necessarily treat the hair on the face. I have a
Right.
coworker that says, as a matter of fact, Mr. E says he washes his face and that's it. That's it. He don't comb it. He don't do anything, put anything on it, and go and really have a little bit of trouble, trying to manage it. But you're telling us there are ways of managing, keeping it groomed, and doing things to it that's going to help the process of growing and maintaining.
Yes. We give you a strategic plan and a strategy of how to treat your beard. Matter of fact, we have a video dropping tomorrow on how to
Yes,
treat your beard. It's a seven step plan on how to treat your beard.
man. So you're educating them, you're giving them the
Yes,
products. You even have a vitamin.
right. I have biotin gummies. Flavors of gummy. Usually, if you go to the store, usually it's a nasty pill. It works, but you don't want to take nothing nasty. So we got a flavor gummy. That actually tastes sort of like candy, but
But
and
it,
it's enjoyable to take.
yes. So it is really great. Now, people can buy it online. Will you
Yes.
eventually have a location or a place where people can come in? Because a lot of people are asking me, does he have a location yet? They'll go on, they are willing to go online, but they really want to
Right.
know, can they actually go into a place and buy it eventually?
You know what? I was thinking about that, but not right now.
Not right
Not right
now.
now. Yeah, things gonna have to. e-commerce I think is the way,
Yes.
but you always have to have a physical location because people want things immediately.
Yes. The
So
wonderful. Go ahead.
I think in the future it will come.
But right now, you are still targeting the world with the World Wide
Yes.
Web, and people are able to get it. You can ship it out, and it's just marvelous to see you in action and see this great product. Now, people will look at your bid and say, "Dang, where do you get that bid from?" But earlier you said, Chris, that you had problems with it. Tell us a little bit again about some of the problems you had with it and how do you get it to look so good?
Thank you. I was having problems with keeping it hydrated. I didn't know what products to put on it, and I mean, it was a real struggle. I was getting razor bumps. I had a little white marks. I don't know. It was just white, scratchy skin, and I really needed to solve that problem. So it took a while to figure out, what was the product, because most products I've come to find out that um, they don't penetrate the skin. You can't.
Uh-huh.
They don't absorb the skin. So I found products that absorb the skin.
Uh-huh. Make sure you talk directly.
Right.
Yeah. So oh, good, good, good. He said, DC James says, make it available at Sykes. Tell us what
Thanks.
that is, Mr. DC James. Uh, but yeah, Chris, I'm sure a lot of people are going to want it. Barbershops, they can get your product. They can go online and give them that address again to get that beard in control. Chris, could, oh, Chris is frozen, as a matter of fact. I think he's going to have to go back out and come back in. In the meantime, Beard Gods, if you look at the banner, it's www.beardgods.com, beardgodz.com. Go up there talking about some great products. He has the shampoo, he has the conditioner, he has the balm, he has the oil, he has the pick. And when he comes back to us, I'm going to ask him about that pick and also the vitamins, the biotin vitamins, where where you all can manage yourself. A lot of people use the metal picks and things, especially, uh, back in the day, they used to have this thing, metal picks and things for your afro and stuff. But talking to Chris, he lets us know that using certain things on the hair helps the breakage, helps make split ends and things like that. So he's gotten a pick design made of wood that's going to help that beard, keep it maintained, trimmed up, and everything. So, really excited about it. It's a new business. Chris is also a real estate agent. If you all ever feel the need to get a great real estate agent here in the Hampton Roads area, please check him out. You can check him out on Instagram at Beard Gods or either at Chris Hinton. You can go there. You can go to Facebook. He's on social media everywhere. He's dropping videos and just letting you know how you can reach him and how you can get the goods. And so we want to say thank you. He's a sponsor, FYI. After Dark, along with Crystal Records. You can go to Crystal Records and you'll see the store, Yolanda Hinton. You'll see the book, Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose, FYI radio show. And you can do all that by going to www.Cristo, Cristo records.com. Chris is back. Hey,
Yeah.
Chris.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you real good.
Okay, I'm back.
Chris, we have DC James. He's the head coach. He says the full name is called Sykes Health Zone. Owner
Okay.
is Kathy Sykes, located at Military Mall in Norfolk. And he said, hey, it'd be great to have them in there.
Okay.
So you can check that out. And if you all have any suggestions, anybody, look, barbershops or cosmetologists, people that need products, hey, call Chris. He's going to give you the information. You go to his website. Hey, Chris, can people actually talk, well, send messages through your website, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and that's good. So, Chris, I was telling you before you popped off about your pick. Tell them a little bit about that product.
Well, we have a wooden pick, and the wooden pick is the best pick. You shouldn't use your metal pick. You shouldn't use the plastic pick. The wooden pick creates static. Static in turns create more blood flow. More blood flow, more hair growth.
Oh, wow. That is marvelous. It's good. It looks good. And, people are buying it. People are buying the products
Right.
and things like that. I know that should really make you happy. Now, Chris, you got Valentine's Day coming up. Tell us
Yes.
what's going to happen with that.
Well, I'm reaching out to the ladies, to the wives, to the mothers, to the aunts, that
Yes.
even friends that have a special loved one. Go to beardguys.com. Go buy that special person a package. You'll get an oil, you'll get a balm, shampoo, conditioner, biotin. You'll get a pick, and you get a whole package to have that man looking good in public. You don't want him out here looking dusty. You don't want him with a patchy beard, dry skin. You out here looking moist, and he haven't even put lotion on. He haven't even
Absolutely.
put lotion on for the day.
And a lot of guys, like I was saying, there are some guys that say, well, things not work for me. What do you use? Well, I don't use nothing. And
Right.
that's it. What do you say? You got to take care of it, keep it washed clean. Because you also mentioned that, if you're not cleaning it well, or if you're not drying it well, you're going to have problems inside with your skin and things.
Right.
Tell us about that, Chris.
Well, yeah, you have to dry the beard completely. You have to clean it completely. Some guys just put oil on a dirty beard and makes it worse. Then come around and shave, and now you're just cutting dirt, which creates razor bumps, and your skin gets infected. So we want to give you a strategic plan. Come to our website, beardguys.com. We'll give you a strategic plan, or you can go on my Instagram, beard beards.gods with a Z. And you can check our Instagram page, and we'll give you a strategic plan. We can show you what to do if you don't know, and you can contact me personally, and I'll talk to you.
DC James says, make it available also at Man Code Barbershop in Virginia Beach around the Lynn Haven Mall. Master barber named Jason Brown.
Will
Is
do.
it
Will
Jason or
do.
Jackson? Jackson Brown. Will you check it out, Chris?
Will do. I will do.
That is absolutely fabulous. So we can't wait for the video to drop. You said it's going to be dropping on tomorrow.
Yes.
Absolutely. So you all check Chris out on social media. Also, don't forget Valentine's month. That month of love, honey. You need to make sure your man is hooked up. Is that right? Your dad, your uncle.
Uncles,
Chris, let me
aunts.
tell you today, I saw so many beards today. I mean, guys are styling their beards, but I'm telling
Right.
you, your product is definitely needed because guys, you can use a little bit of oil in
Right. You want your aunt, look, even your aunt edges, our big old works for
That's
that.
it.
And
Yeah, ladies. Yes,
we really have something, we haven't got there yet, but we're gonna cross over that road too.
absolutely. So we want to welcome again our wonderful sponsor, Beard Gods. The owner is Chris Hinton, and he's going to be back with us. You're going to check him out also on our morning live show. He's going to be with us in February. And we just need to support him. Support him. Let him know that, hey, we got you. Friends, relatives, there's the products right there, and they're looking mighty good. You all make sure you all visit www.beardgodswithaz.com. Or if you even are interested in getting the brand into your store, your barber shop, your boutique, please check Chris out. You can find him on social media. You can go to his website and you can communicate with him. And so, Chris, I want to say thank you again. And just if you want to, you can, we'll let you pop in and out. We're getting ready to go into one of our discussions, but I want to say thank you again.
Thank you.
All
And
right.
go shop at beerguys.com right now.
Absolutely. All right. Take care, Chris.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I tell you what, we're getting ready to pop in Mr. E. How you doing?
Doing wonderful. I just want to, can you hear me?
I can hear you really good.
Just want to apologize for being here late. Just had a late meeting, still working things out.
Yes. Yeah, we understand how that works, Mr. E, but glad to see you. Mr. E, so much going on. First of all, we welcome Beard Gods, and we're going to say welcome to back to FYI After Dark. Today, we had a great, fabulous show, Sports Talk.
That's
And
right.
Mr. E is co-host of FYI Morning Show along with FYI After Dark. Mr. E, how do you think the show went this
I think the show
morning?
went well because we had a lot of people that we've been dialoguing with because that's been ride or die with us all the way down to the ending of the um, football season. We had
Yes.
some that start with us and some that's been with us all the way till to the end. And so now we have gotten to the finals. And since we got into the finals, some of the teams and some of the people that's been here with us, their team did make it. And so what we did, what we had decided, what we are doing now is getting ready to wind everything up.
Absolutely. Now we do sports talk on Monday on FYI Morning Show. We come on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but Monday is our sports talk segment. We're following the NFL season. Like Mr. E said, it's down to the wire now. We got two teams. And I tell you what, all you have to do is just join us on Mondays and you'll hear about what's going on in the NFL. Other sports news. We're getting ready to jump on the NBA, Mr. E, and follow them. And there are a lot of other sports that we'll highlight and bring great stories from. But right now, down to the wire, we've been following it and rooting for teams. Mr. E is a Cowboy fiend, and his team went all the way up until the playoffs. And it was a great time for you all, you Cowboys.
That's right. It was a great time for the Cowboys, and we are so proud of what they have done. I want to say good evening to Mr. DC James. Thank you so much for chiming in to FYI, and to Mr. Gregory Bell. Thank you so much for you being a part of what we're doing here on FYI. Yeah, our team made it all the way to the third place, in the playoff, where we should have been in there last night, but due to circumstance beyond our control and our quarterback control, we made it to the second round, the third round. We didn't make it to the second round, so now we want to applaud our division champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. We give you our hats off to you because you did such a wonderful, wonderful job holding it down for our division. Want to let our listening audience know, yes, we did beat Philadelphia. Yeah, we did. And so now, since we beat Philadelphia, the Cowboys beat Philadelphia, and we could have beat them also last night because we had their number. But
I'll tell you what y'all could have, but you all did good for what you did. Philadelphia is there. Who else, Mr. E, is going?
Philadelphia is there, and the Kansas City Chiefs are there. So our hats off to the Kansas City Chiefs was the best in the AFL, and the Cowboy and the Philadelphia Eagles was the best in the NFC.
Yes, so it is very exciting. If you all have a team, put it in the chat. Tell us who you're supporting, and don't forget to join us on Mondays at 9:30 a.m. on FY Radio Show Live Sports Talk, and we have a great time. And so, not only do we do sports talk, but on Wednesdays we do our "What is under the hat?" What's under the hat? Issues concerning men on our Friday segment is all about the ladies, issues concerning our women, our ladies, our girls, what's in your closet. We do serving dat tea, which is we talk about breaking news and entertainment and wonderful stories that are going on in our world. And we have so many things that we share, a time of giving, and it's just a wonderful time. 7 years celebrating FYI radio morning show live. And we're just going to keep it going until we can't go no more. But in the meantime, we're here, FYI After Dark, and we're thankful to be able to do this show. You know, we can cover things a little bit longer. This FYI After Dark goes on a little bit more than an hour. We can, really talk. We can pull people in if they're interested in being pulled into our feed, and we can chat. And we're on different platforms: Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook Live. So, Mr. E, is so much going on. I'll make our other announcements later. But in the meantime, we need to talk about something that is going on in our world now and again, which is a sad thing because this is a terrible thing that has happened in our community, and people are really talking. The news story is everywhere, and this evening we're going to feature what's going on in the news with Mr. Tyree Nichols, who was a victim of police brutality, allegedly. We got to say that word. But it is a terrible thing that we have to look in the face again of our world and the things that go on that really causes havoc, chaos, and trauma. And especially to our community, because we find ourselves in the same spot over and over and over again. And so we're here to talk about this incident, Mr. E. Tyree Nichols, and a young man that was a victim of alleged police brutality. And please, I want you all to please join in the dialogue. We want to hear from you. You know, there's a lot of people that want to speak out and talk about it. A lot of people that are tired of what's going on in the communities. A lot of people feel helpless, Mr. E. They don't know what to do. You know, like I said, they're seeing it over and over and over again. And it's like, well, how can we change this?
Cynthia, when we begin to talk about black on black crime, when we begin to talk about police brutality, we would think that everybody would learn their lesson when it comes from the young man that got killed by a police officer. We would think that everybody would know what procedures and what to do now. What is
you're talking about police in you're talking about police
in general. Mm-hmm. You know, what is SS forces and what do we need to do in order for us to calm situations down, be able to be peaceful in when we're pulling people over. Now there are so many people around the world that's going through a panic zone. Mm-hmm. They're too afraid to stop when they see the red or the blue lights flashing behind them. They're too afraid to even acknowledge that the police is behind them, and the reason why they don't know what will happen to them. You know, it's against the law for you to not stop when you see the flashing lights. It's against the law because it can be a catch-22. They could say that you're running from them, or they can assume something else is going on. But when you have cities like Memphis, Tennessee, and all they do is look like they promote crime after crime after crime, especially in the African American community.
Yes.
Look like all the crime takes place in the community, in the African American community, and it don't look like anything happens nowhere else but in the Black community. As we begin to look at what's going on all over the world, we look at what's the other gentleman name that got killed by the police?
George Floyd.
When we look at George Floyd, we see a prime example or police brutality. But it goes a little further than that. There's a military man that was stopping to get gas, and the police begin to tear gas him. So I don't think really that the president of the United States and those who officials that are in charge of him need to enforce that they go to some type of class so that they would know how to treat the people.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Tyree Nichols. He's from Memphis, Tennessee. On January 23rd, 5 Black police officers from the Memphis Police Departments severely beat 29-year-old Tyree Nichols, a Black man, doing a traffic stop.
That's right.
He died 3 days later in a hospital.
You know, when you hear that, something like that, and you wonder, they call themselves Scorpio. The crowd, the police, are known as Scorpio, but they are not just Scorpio. They the jump off. They jump off police officers. You know, that they'll drive up to your car, jump out to your car, and really go at you.
Well, we're going to find out a little bit more about them. But it says the officers, this group that Mr. E is talking about, stopped Nicholas for alleged reckless driving. He pulled him from his car and used pepper spray and a taser on him. Now, the police that beat him, of course, they have been arrested. But this new cat that this police that pepper sprayed him has also been dealt with at this time, Mr. E. But it says that he used the pepper spray and taser on him. Nicholas managed to break away. And just like Mr. E says, you know, people are full of anxiety when they see police. They don't really know. Sometimes they don't know how to react. Sometimes they're running from the law. But, you know, there are instances when people panic. I know a young lady and her family, they just were panic stricken when the police stopped them just for an ordinary, you know, your light is out type thing. And it is really, really sad because just today I heard, I believe the lawyer say that the community, the Black community has been traumatized.
Right. We're traumatized. They're traumatized again. They was traumatized with George Floyd. Now they're traumatized with this guy, Tyree. You know, they were traumatized from that. They still upsetting the community because whether there was white cops or black cops, they still have not learned their lesson on how to approach people.
Well, Ann Miles said they feel like some can get away with it. They have that authority. It was always said you could pull over in a light area. Look, you can pull over in a light area, dark area. We saw with George Floyd, honey, he was in the broad daylight, getting murdered right there in broad daylight among the whole world. The whole world experienced it. The whole world saw him go to his death. And like Mr. E is saying, you would think that police would police themselves a little bit more. Now, this is the thing. Why is Tyree Nichols dead?
Well,
let me ask this first, Mr. E, because if you have a so-called traffic violation, why is this man dead? Now, even if he, you know, ran or whatever, got from under him, ran, why is he dead? Why is that the alternative to just stop and think? You know, we tell kids that stop and think. Why? Five of y'all jumping on him, beating the mess out of him. Was that really an answer to the problem? But anyway, we go on, Mr. E, and it says that the 5 officers were fired on January the 20th and on the 26th. They were arrested and charged with murder, kidnapping, assault, and misconduct. 2 firefighters who were on the ambulance took Nicholas to the hospital were relieved of duty pending an investigation.
You know, Ms. Hinton, when George Ford died, the police, the whole world saw this tragedy.
Yeah.
The whole world was looking at this man kneeling on this young man's neck and killed him. Now, the whole world has now just witnessed another tragic where 6 police officers, here that they're saying that there are 6 Memphis police officers involved in Tyrese Nichols' investigation, relieved of duty. 6 of them.
Yes.
And one of the people is a Caucasian fellow.
Mhm.
You know, there are 6 people that are involved in a Memphis a killing of a black man.
Mm.
5 blacks and 1 white. Well, why is that black on black crime? Well, they call them scorpions, which is a jump off. They'll pull up beside your car and jump out the car, and they come and do what they do, for no apparent reason whatsoever. You don't have to be doing anything wrong. They just jump off and harass.
Well, allegedly, that's allegedly.
The chief of police said today that that it was successful for a year.
Yeah, they were doing okay. But what happened?
What happened? What happened? What happened to what happened to them? Did they get the big head because they got the name the Scorpion? Did they get the big head because they have the authority to do and whatever they wanted to do?
But this is the thing. Let me ask you, Mr. E, do you feel like it was something personal? Because as they dealt with Mr. Nichols, they were saying all kind of things to him. Oh, they hope they stomp you, and you so many things that seem like unnecessary, like it was a personal vendetta or something. Why in the world do you have to throw out insults and talk about being stomping them and you're going to get your type of thing? Why in the world would they resort to that?
Well, the lawyer said that the police officer was at a 10 when they approached the car. They're already amped up, ready to go. So their minds are not being concerned on trying to help a citizen. Their minds are being right amped up to do justice, what they call justice to a citizen. They're not concerned about approaching the citizen with a citizen arrest or saying, "Hey, look, let me see your driver's license and your insurance card." No, they got out of the cars, amped up, ready to go to bat, to sting.
Listen to this. It says Nichols was 2 minutes away from his home when he was stopped at approximately 8:24 p.m. on January the 7th. And from my understanding, he was going home from a break from his job to have dinner or lunch or some dinner with his family, with his mom and them. He was going home. And so, he was constantly, he was asking them, "Okay, I didn't do nothing. What's wrong? All right." And it was more and more, according to the news story, more and more harassment. I guess so much so that he had to try to run for his life. I think, like you were saying, Mr. E, there's trauma in our community because you're trying to not die, first of all.
That's right.
But you know the history of some police that you may not make it home, and you may not survive it, and you can be as innocent as you can be, but that's in your mind, that's in your brain, that hey, you know what, I know how this story may end.
When you started talking about how it's supposed to be, the storyline is totally different. The story says once upon a time there was in life black people There was in life some police officers, and once upon a time, that if you get pulled over by the police officers, that they will know how to assess the situation, that you
Yes.
won't get jumped on. But you can throw that nursery rhyme, that story out of the window, because now when you get pulled over by the police, the blue lights are so high, they so bright that you cannot see what's going on. And when they come out, they coming out with clubs. They come out with guns. They come out ready to tase you for no apparent reason. Here's my question about what these 6 police officers did. One, why did y'all pull him over? He didn't have a busted headlight or anything. One, why did y'all pull an innocent man over, or why did y'all jump out of your automobile and jump on him? For
So
what
many of
reason?
them.
What message is y'all trying to send to the community? But here's the kicker part. The 5 black guys, police officers, that jumped and killed that man, they are arrested. But the white boy is gone free.
Well, he has
He,
definitely been dealt with too, and
he
some
has
of the
not
other
been
ones.
charged with anything.
Nope, not yet, not
They,
yet.
they,
But I
but
tell you
but but
what, not
but
yet.
but they should also not only get this Caucasian fellow, but they should get everybody that's involved there.
Yeah,
You
everybody.
can't just let folk. Just if you look at the video, they walking around like it was nothing. Man, that human, man, that son of a man, that
Yeah.
mother,
Well,
man.
this is what was said at the traffic stop. Officers pulled Nichols out of his car as he said, "I didn't do anything." An
That's
officer
right.
shouted, "Get on the effing ground! I'm going to tase your A. I'm going to tase your serious."
What?
Officers pushed
Here's the
Nichols.
thing.
Let me finish. Officers pushed Nichols to the ground at about 8:25 p.m. A struggle began between the officers and Nichols. They attempted to pin Nichols to the ground, threatened him, yelled expletives, and used pepper spray and a taser on him. The pepper spray also hit several of the officers.
That's how he got
Ultimately,
away.
ultimately Nichols broke free and ran south
That's right.
on Ross Road when he was pursued by at least 2 officers. 2 more police units arrived at the scene of the traffic stop. And footage showed that one officer who remained at the area of the traffic stop said, "I hope they stomp his A."
Miss Hinton, where are all the police officers? Where are the police officers that we call officer friendly? Where are the police officers that we call officer friendly that is patrolling and looking out for us? I thought that the police supposed to be to the point where they supposed to be save lives and not take lives. When we look at the police officer today, we might well go ahead and prepare yourself to either get beat down, beat upside your head, or to die.
So let me tell you a little bit more. It says the second encounter Nichols had with police occurred less than half a mile away from the traffic stop, where he was beaten for about 3 minutes. Body camera footage showed an officer shouting to Nichols, "I'm going to baton the F out of you." Footage from a pole-mounted surveillance camera at the corner of Bear Creek showed officers striking Nichols at least 9 times
It doesn't make
without
sense to
visible.
me.
It says without visible provocation.
And then this was the thing that got me so much. And how smart were the police with the body cams on, just like they just don't care. They got the body cams on, and they really is not really thinking in their right minds that somebody gonna see this. We
Yes.
gonna get in trouble behind this. They was at a 10 when they jumped out. The Scorpion was at a 10 when they jumped out of the car. They didn't have a kid where their minds was blank. All they want to do is go and get somebody. Like they don't care. They already got body cam. Folks are looking at it. Do we have police officers now that are, that we can really have confidence in? Do
Mm.
do we have police officers that that we can really trust? What is going on in America today? If it ain't the police officers, is in the White House, is in the president's house. They fighting in the Senate house. They jumping
Mhm.
at each other like that's the wild, wild west. What is going on with America? It's on every hand. It's in Mexico. It's in UK, and it's right here in America. If we can't set the example for the young folks taking matters in their hand, and they going to fighting too. 6 years old, had an altercation with a teacher.
Mhm.
Instead of him doing it the diplomatical way, he goes and get a gun, and he
Mhm.
goes back and shoot. What is going on with America?
Absolutely, so much going. The gun laws and things like that. People have been asking Congress and others, our leaders, to help us do something about the problem. Like you said, they're so busy fighting and carrying on. Our leaders, it's just a terrible thing that people won't take time to say, wait a minute. We keep hearing this about this police brutality over and over. It's time for us to sit ourselves down somewhere and get together to get some of this stuff resolved. Now, police, of course, we are not talking about every single one, but they have this united front, which causes allegedly people to stand by and watch things. Now, these people that were standing by Mr. E, all the police and all the other ones, they're going to have to give an account, because why are you sitting here, standing here, letting a man be beat to death? And then guess what they say, Mr. E? They say after you beat him, you let him lay down there and won't even take care of him. And it's like, well, oh, well, that's just somebody, some rag doll, because that's how they was treating him. According to the story, like he was some kind of rag doll, and that he didn't need any medical care. And this is an ungodly thing that's taking place in our world, and we're seeing it over and over and over again. Where will it end? What is the solution? Why haven't we figured out? Mr. E, I can see if this was, now I tell you what, this is a disease. Because anytime you can't and don't want to get rid of something that is so detrimental to the lives of people or to our communities, it is a disease, it's a problem. But
You,
somebody and our leaders, I really believe they need to sit back and try to find solution. It is something that can be cured. A lot of these problems can be cured and handled. But when you don't want to deal with certain things and you keep giving people the authority to abuse, then you're going to do that. If you don't know the purpose of a thing, you're going to abuse it. And it seems like the community, our Black community, our people, seem like people don't know our purpose, and they still looking down on us as though we were back there some kind of slave. They look down on us, and they look down on us. Then they're still thinking they can handle us in the same way. Now it's got to stop somewhere. Where will it stop? When will the leaders get together? When will everybody get together? They're protesting, Mr. E.
you wrote a book called Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the book called Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose, you'll find that there are bullies, and you'll find that there are assistants. Those are the
Woo,
ones that hang
bystander.
around, that egg things on. Those are bullies, and then there's assistants. Now, when you look at the bullies and assistants, everybody is involved. When you look at this incident, there are bullies and then there's assistants. All of them sitting around laughing and joking, like back in the days of old, like the Caucasian man beat the black guy and use him as a sports and tell him, look, and the slavery said, run, run, and they
Yes.
shoot at him, and everybody get their laugh on.
Yes.
You would think that Black police officers, and I'm going
Mm.
to say this, would take care of their own, would look out for their own community. But you are destroying our community. Black police officers, not all of them.
That's right. That's right.
But here's what you got to find: the right ones. You got to find the right officers that's going to take care of the community. Here's what they got. They did the same thing here in Norfolk, Virginia, and all over, where they go back into the communities. The police officers go back into the communities and they rub elbows and play football and have a lemonade and drink soft drinks and have fun with the kids and the community, so that the community could relax and let them know we're here to do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the Scorpions were supposed to be doing. They supposed to be in the community, making the community a better place. They supposed to be out there keeping all this drugs and prostitution and trafficking out of the way. They supposed to be out there making the communities a better place where folks could live in comfort and in peace. But what happened? They doing the same identical thing. They destroying the community. They're tearing the community down. You got it to the point where folks don't even want to come out the house. And basketball players even afraid to even drive down the street because the first time they got their black. Folks are getting to the point where they don't want to go nowhere because they are not. Why call the police if you're in trouble? Why call them? So he can beat the hell out you? Why call the police when you get in trouble? So that once he gets you in the back of the car, he can beat you down? My brothers and I had to experience this. My brother and I, we was down in Virginia Beach. We were riding down Virginia Beach, and my oldest brother had driver's license, and we just driving. And the car that we would drive, which was my father's car, it evidently ran out of gas or something, and we was four black people on the side of the road looking for some help coming out of Virginia Beach, like going to Princess Anne Road to the jailhouse. Well, the police stopped us, put us in the car, and instead of taking us to the police precinct, they told us they're going to whip our hind parts.
Wow.
My brother reached out of the car, opened up the back door and we all jumped out and took off running. Because there was police brutality going on. When is it going to stop? When is this mess going to end? When is it going to be safe for folks to walk back down the street for our community? We already recognize that there are bullies everywhere, and we've been telling folks to get, to regain their community. But how can people regain their community from the bullies when the bullies are the police?
Some of the police. And the thing about it is, like you said, bullying is everywhere. And I think the reality of it is that, you would think that, road cops wouldn't be hired, or cops that are, on that 10 and don't know how to manage themselves, or don't know, people. You can't put everybody in one category and say, well, all y'all like this, so I got to beat your head in. We know when when the police confront people, how combative some people may be. We know that some of them are disrespectful to the police. We know that. We know that they'll fight and they will hurt the police if given a chance. We know this. And so
we have to come to that.
Well,
we have to come back.
We finish. But we know that is a reality. But I'm just saying, training. Because these guys, Mr. E, weren't in the police force that long. So training is key. And not only that, knowing how people are, knowing how you can't put everybody in one bunch. Yeah, you may have a few that'll knock your head and run or shoot at you. Citizens can get, and they can be combative. They can fight you. We know that. But then what about the innocent that is just, you saying he's doing a traffic violation? Why is he or she dead? Now, that is the problem. Why, if it's just a traffic violation, why is Mr. Nichols dead? Now, come on.
When we get to talking about traffic and police officers, when we get, do we have to guard ourselves? Or do we have to start packing too? Do we have to do we have to be
That
on
doesn't
the
help.
do we have to be on the safe side? Do we have to watch ourselves
I
when
see what you're saying.
when we out there in the street? Because when we go into the store, when we going home,
Yes.
I was talking today to some people that we was supposed to be going down North Carolina. I made the statement: Is it safe?
Mm.
Is it safe for us as black men,
Mm.
as people of of color to drive down the highway? Do we have jump off gangs right here in the city of Virginia? In Virginia, do we have in Norfolk? Do we have jump off gangs as we travel down the highway where we look like we're gonna do something wrong, where we look like we are hoodlums, where we look like and we fit the description that they may look for, and when you pull up to the traffic light
Mhm.
and you on your way home, they jump out the car and jump on you. Is that way we come? That's what the world is coming to now,
Mhm.
where folks can't not be free anymore. This is what I'm telling you. What I'll do. This is what if it was me.
Mhm.
Listen to me real good. If
Mhm.
it was me, I'm going down with you. We gonna fight. We
Okay.
gonna have to, well,
Allegedly.
I'm letting you know because
Miss E, don't put that in the atmosphere.
the thing you got to understand, if
Mm-mm.
I see you want to jump off, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to pull off first of all. If I see you jump out of your car like you coming towards me and you look like you going to do some physical violence,
Miss E, don't put
I'm a
that.
jet on my
What y'all think about that? Y'all put in the chat what y'all think about Mr. E, what he's saying now. Don't put that in the atmosphere,
because
Mr.
the
E,
thing about it is
because that is, I'm saying that may be the mindset of a lot of other people as
that's
well,
what the world
saying,
gonna come to. That's
but
what the people gonna start doing because they are not gonna know whether or not to stop for the police. There was time when the police officer, there was people that was posing as police officers. There was pretending to be police officers and jumping and killing people. Now,
Mhm.
since they was pretending to believed to be police officer and jumping and killing folk, now the real police is killing. Look at this man. This man was on a break, going home to get him something to eat. Then by the time he left from point A to point B, they jumped him. For what reason?
Mm.
There was
So,
another
yeah.
incident where the guy said they did the same thing to him. They jumped
Yes,
him.
absolutely. Yeah, they're gonna have a press conference, and the other two are going to talk about the harassment from this particular group. And so, like you said, where's it going to end? People are still being profiled. Black men and women are still being profiled. You don't, and look, you don't have to be somebody in the hood or a hood rat, as people call. You could be somebody with an expensive car,
That's
or
right.
somebody with a judge or something, and you're gonna at times will be profile, and that's another problem. But profile in the sense of being harassed along with being profiled, and
That's right.
that's the problem. It's like, why are you stopping me to harass me if I'm not doing anything? And so we're finding ourselves again, like I said.
They
If
could
you
be.
all have any comments, make sure you put it in the chat if you're online with us.
They
Uh,
could. They could bad because I'm wearing the Dallas Cowboys hat. I got the wrong team on my head. And since I got the wrong team, they going to jump you. So, let's look at this cat. Let's look at the guy down in Memphis. Let's go to point A to point B. There were people that, that saw that they had body cams on. Watch this. They had body cams on and they done beat this man down to the pulp. This man rocking and reeling, going unconscious, trying to maintain his
mhm,
balance, and the
mhm,
police behind him making jokes. They
mhm.
laughing. They
Yeah.
making jokes. The EMT, they walking around taking their dear time, not trying to administer any first aid to the man, but they just looking at him.
Mhm.
I don't
Yes,
understand.
yes,
It's
yes.
all a big joke now. And so when they finally put him on the gurney to take him to the hospital, and he was already out, took him to the hospital, the man died 3 days later.
It's so sad. It's sad. So
It's a problem.
Let's look at the parents now. Uh, they are traumatized.
Oh
They are
yeah.
trying to figure out what is this, and the mother, you know, she's trying to actually hold herself together, thinking it must be for the greater good. This, even though she wouldn't have never wanted this to happen to her child, she's trying to look and see, is this the path to better laws? Is this the path to people changing and the police force getting better? She's trying to
That's
look at
right.
it in a more positive way, but she has lost a child for what reason she doesn't understand. And so, you know, they are speaking out. They're going to fight. They're talking because they don't understand why this happened. And let's look at it again. Uh, African American police, knowing what we have gone through and suffered, why would you take on camera and beat the mess? And guess what they said? They said he didn't weigh but 145 pounds, six something. He wasn't even that big. He just was a little tall, but he was small. He had a condition in his tummy,
That's right.
and he didn't eat a lot. And so, why is this person? He said, "I didn't do anything." You know, he's letting them know, "Look, I'm okay. I didn't do anything." You know, why the family is wondering why police would sit back and just do a number and say the things to him.
You
You
know,
know,
Miss,
they're trying to connect a few things. Was it personal? Did you know this person?
that's right. That's right. You know, when I look at this, Tyree Nichols, Al Sharpton condemned the violent protest for the help for helping the police after Times Square arrest. Here's the thing that we got to look at. George Floyd's mother, when he died, his parents told them that we only want that we don't want to do you to do anything in the street. We want to make sure that the police get training. Chief Paul Boone said they need to get proper training for the streets.
That's key right there, Mister. You don't go past that too quick, because say that again. That's key.
The chief of police here, the retired chief of police here in Norfolk, Boone said they need to have more proper training on how to diffuse problems. They don't know, police officers don't know how to diffuse problems because they got mad at him because he held the sign up and they want to kick him off the force. That's the chief. But he was only being friendly with folk. Sometimes you got to learn how to negotiate. You got to learn how to be friends with them that you're trying to create stop from doing wrong things. When I saw Chief Boone and I talked to Chief Boone about the situation, Chief Boone is coming on our show, and I'm just waiting for him to give me a date. You know, and he simply said that they need more training. They disband this group called the Scorpions. This Scorpions begin to do what they call a jump off game, a pop off game. When they see you, it's worse than the cats that's on the street when they see you at the traffic light, when they come to stick you up and hijack you. They come and hijack you. You don't know whether or not it's the Scorpions come to hijack your car, or they come or the boys on the street. That's the way the boys on the street do. The boys on the street, they come to hijack your car. They be sitting in the park at the light, and then when they sit at the light, they look over at you. Then they jump out the car and they try to jump into your passenger side of your car to take your car. They waiting for you to panic. They're waiting for you to panic. And once you panic, guess what? Now here's the legitimate side of it. The police get out and say, "Stop. I'm the police." Show their badge and open up your door. Put your hands on your steering, and they go off on you. You know,
not all police.
Here's the thing that folks got to understand: a man that freaks out and panic, somebody gonna get hurt, and it doesn't necessarily have to be. It doesn't have to be the driver of the car, or because either they gonna hurt you. Look at what they did to that man. Why? These are the questions that folks want to know. Why police officer? Why y'all jump at it? What
Well,
did he do?
these are the people that are involved. Tadarius Bean, Scorpion, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin III, Desmond Mills Jr., and Justin Smith. And then there's the other one we got to find out.
His name is Preston. His name is Preston Hemphill.
Okay, and he has
not been charged with anything yet.
But he's being dealt with. Now listen to the charges: second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, official misconduct,
kidnapping,
and official kidnapping.
Police officer kidnapping folk.
It is absolutely too crazy.
Now back up and go back there again. A police officer's kidnapping?
That's what they have up there. That is one of the charges. It says on January 7th, Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy asked the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation to investigate allegation of excessive use of force during the arrest. On January 15th, the Memphis Police Department announced the officers involved would face administrative action. The U.S. Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation also opened a civil rights investigation. On January 20th, Memphis Police announced that the 5 officers would be fired. But then it says on the 24th, 2 Memphis Fire Department emergency medical technicians who were in the ambulance have been relieved of duty without further explanation.
In addition to that, Ms. Hinton, the firing of the officer, the police director, C.J. Davis, also permanently disbanded the city's so-called Scorpion unit on Saturday. The unit included 5 officers and was focused on preventing and punishing street crime. Nicholson beating and death had led to an outrage across the country. These cats was to try to prevent crime in the community.
Wow.
That's what their job was to do.
Yes.
The job was to get the dope man off the street. The job was to get the guns out of the community. That's what their job was to do. Their job was to stop seeing black marketing items like pocketbooks and shoes. And that's what they were supposed to prevent. They were supposed to prevent folks from really doing criminal activity in our community, to make our community a safe place. But look what they've done. They kidnapped this guy. Why is the police kidnapping people?
Allegedly, these are the charges. These are the charges, but they definitely, we're going to see how swift. Now that's that's another controversy. It's like how swift now. Here come this thing of race now, because race got to jump in it too. So it's saying, okay, there's black men involved as police. Why? And this is the lawyer for the Nichols family. Why y'all jumping on the 5 that quick? We can't get y'all to jump on whites or other
always the black man
groups, because if when a white is involved, it takes such a long time. Now all of a sudden we got 5 black police, and they're saying, how is it, people are questioning it, how is it that you take 20 days and you come up with being able to start the justice thing rolling after 20 days, when if it was a white cop on a black person, they're saying that it would not go and flow as fast. So here we got the race card coming in play, and there are so many other little issues that's coming into play, and we just want to see how that is going to play out because the lawyer also says now you can't go back. Now once you start saying that we can do this swiftly, 20 days, then you can't go back when a white police is going to do harm to someone else. And now you say, well, it's going to take them, we'll put them on administrative leave. It's going to take 6 months for us to get back into the groove with it. But anyway, it talks about on January 27th, the police body worn camera video footage of the incident was released and the public went berserk.
The president of the United States, Biden, began to discuss the police reform. He said, no one in our nation should fear interacting with the police officer who serve our diversity community, large and small. We want to be safe. The CBC wrote that Biden, many Black and brown people, however, and many young people in general are justifiable afraid to interact with law enforcement. That's what the president said. He said we should never be afraid to interact with our police officer. But they ain't targeting nothing but the Black community. Every time you turn around, it's not the Caucasian, the lily white people. They have the cleanest community in around town. They don't target. Crime leaves and goes to the community. Here's what happened. This is what people said. When you start having African Americans move into a Caucasian neighborhood, first thing they said, crime is here. There goes the community. First thing they do is say, and then African Americans living in lily white or living in high class, a community, they're saying we can't get away from it. There's always somebody got to tell us what's going on. Here's what Marvin Gaye said. Why so many things are happening? This war is not the answer for us. We fighting in major wars. Now we got to have a community war, and it's all targeting the African Americans, Black on Black crime. Look at these police officers. These 5 police officers and that crew called the Scorpions was supposed to be preventing drug deals, preventing black marketing, preventing the neighborhoods from, they supposed to have been cleaning up the neighborhood. They supposed to be help clean up the neighborhood. But what they was doing, they was destroying. They destroyed the neighborhood.
I wanted to, Ann said they were tokens. And, I had a flashback when I was thinking just a second ago, but when I saw her say that, I had a flashback of the movie The Django.
Yeah.
And wherein you have the element of the black coon.
That's right.
That's what they call him, the Uncle Tom, who assists in doing a number on your own.
That's right.
And so this is one of the problems too. We don't need people are already getting their head bashed in by the police in one way. We don't need others, our African American police not knowing how to have empathy for people, or either go by protocol, go by rules and regulations, not being rogue. I mean, if anybody should know that we don't need that in our community, is that. But we hear so many times, Mr. E, that even some African American cops just won't get the picture. They'll go along with the foolishness and the system and won't understand that everybody on the planet is not walking around committing a crime. All right, my light may be out on my car, but that don't mean I'm doing something wrong.
I'm a criminal.
I'm supposed to be killed, or I may feel a little nervous. I may feel jumpy. I may want to run, fight or flight. I may want to get a little, little funny, but that don't mean that I should be in a coffin the next day. And so, like you said, going back to training the dog to know how people are, training to understand our community, and that you can't just come in there and just keep killing and killing. And it's just too many times that it's been happening in our community.
In our community. It's in our community. When is our community? And then if you stand up for yourself, you wrong. If you stand up and say, listen, I'm not going to have this no more, you're wrong. You cannot, you can't go down City Hall. What can City Hall do? All City Hall can do is take your information. And now you got to go to the Senate. You got to get the bill passed. You got to go to this, go to that. And that's what gets me so much is how in the world the city of Memphis vote on having a scorpion team down there.
That's the thing. We're going to have to dig deeper into what
That's
this
why
is. We're going to have to continue to look at the stories of what this organization has done. I believe that there's going to be some kind of investigation. They've shut them down.
They already shut them down.
Yeah. So, they've shut them down. But I'm saying they're going to have to look deeper. And see, this is the thing. I don't think, I have a feeling people don't want to go in and really solve the problem of this brutality. It's too much. And it's always an issue. And it could be from mild to extreme. It could be from profiling and abuse and harassment and ignorance as well. So what's happening to the public, Mr. E? The following on the release of the video, Memphis blocked traffic on the interstate. Protesters, they blocked in Memphis, blocked traffic on the interstate 55. By January 28, protests had also occurred in New York City, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Portland, Atlanta, San Francisco, Boston, Baltimore, and Newark. A moment of silence was held for Nichols before the NBA basketball game in in Minneapolis. And see, this is the thing. We have to stand our ground, and we have to fight against it. And this is the wonderful part about this time, though, because at one time you would not see, way back in the day, you would not see a multicultural group of people protesting. You would see either blacks protesting or whites, or a few here, a few white. You now have a collection of people that are sitting here watching the injustices of the police and other injustices, and they're banding together to fight against this ungodliness. And I am so glad. That means the more we come together, the stronger we are, because we have many voices, many creeds, many colors, many people that are saying, no, 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 I'm white, but no, no, no to police brutality. No, no, no to targeting blacks. I may be black, but I'm saying no, no, no to targeting Hispanics and looking down on anybody because of their skin. And so this is a thing that it helps pull us together when things happen like that. And the more we pull together, and the more we have sensible people in our leadership, the more we can kind of get things done. There is a remedy. There is a cure. We've got to try to find it and do it.
You know, Ms. Hinton, when you're saying that what it's good to see all races come together to take a stand.
Yes.
You see, here's the thing that we got to understand here is it is wonderful.
Yes, it is.
When George Floyd got killed, everybody band together.
Yes.
Took a stand. Then after many days later, the banding together went away. Nothing did change, and nothing. If that was the case of us banding together, why we got so many dirty and crooked people still killing folks today?
We are chipping away. You have to. Things take time. You got to fight. Now, look, we're embarking on our Black History Month, and we see where things have come from. We see how things have evolved. We got a lot of work to do, and we have to have people that care. And so we have to keep chipping away. We have to keep fighting. You got to keep fighting. You got to keep fighting police brutality, racism. You got to keep fighting for the injustices in our world. You gotta keep fighting. Why? Because you may get it over here. It's like a cancer. You get it over here, go over here. You get it over here, go over here. And so this is what we have to do. We have to first of all be proactive. We have to stay on it. We have people, and this is the thing, we got people born for this, just like that lawyer, just like other lawyers, just like some of our other civil rights leader, Martin Luther King. People that are born to bring changes. Change will come if we continue to stay on it. And so that's what we are depending on, people. That's what Mr. Nichols' mother is saying. She said she's going to keep fighting. She's going to keep doing. What you call it? The young man that was profiled, he had a hood on.
Trayvon.
Trayvon. His mother is still fighting.
That's right.
She's still giving her life to fight against the injustices. And so that's what's going to have a call to action. People that care. There are people born for this. There are people that have been elected to fight against police brutality. But we cannot give up hope, and we cannot sit back and think that it cannot be cured. This level and the answer to this problem, it can be cured. It can get better.
Miss Hinton, that's good. And you're right. We got to band together, and we got to chisel this thing down. When we look at past tense, when we look at history, and African American back in the days of old, when we was a slave, we had to fight then. When we went from freedom, we had to fight then. When we came up to where we are from Martin Luther King days, we had to fight then. Now, in this 21st century, we still has to fight. And we'll never know. We'll never know when the fight is over and when the fight has been fixed so that we could win. What has to happen? We got to bring justice to the world today. We can't just stoop down to their level and fight them like they fight us. We will never win. But we got to bring so much opening to this. We got to bring so much information. We got to do what we got to do in order for us to clean up our own backyard. We got to clean our own. If the police can't do it, if the congressman can't do it, we got to take initiative on ourselves and clean our own backyard up. Because the thing about it is, and when we allow other folks to come into our backyard, it becomes mess. It becomes worse than what it was. It becomes a mess. The streets, look at all these abandoned houses. Look at all these folks just sitting around laying underneath bridges and tunnels. Look at how America looks today. Look at how many folks are standing with signs and say, help me. Look at how many folks' neighborhoods are not safe, where folks are breaking in homes and you can't leave your house, and then folks see cameras at your door, and guess what? They know you ain't home, so guess what they are doing? I saw it on TV. They put everything on TV. The man looked at the ring and he said, get away from my house. I'll come downstairs. The crook said, oh, you ain't home, are you? Guess what I'm getting ready to do? I'm getting ready to break into your house, and broke right into the man's house. So the thing about it is, we got to clean our own neighborhoods up. We got to band together. We got to pull it together. We got to work together so that we can clean our own neighborhood up. The Williams brothers had a song that says, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. So let's try to clean our neighborhoods up. Let's try to pull together and watch each other's back.
Yeah, and also pray for the family. This is not an easy thing to go through. You losing a child to gun violence, and then by the authorities, that you think would be the protectors. It's a terrible thing. And so The family needs prayer, but you hold them up because this is a fight that's going to go on for a while, and they really need the strength of the community. Those that are out there protesting, thank you for letting people lifting your voice, and in some way lift your voice and say, this is not right. This is not right. And then let's see how justice pans out. Let's see what happened. Let's see if we will get the answers that we need in order to bring change and improvement. What's going to happen to these police? What do they have to say? One of the police, he said he's just so surprised that he's finding himself in this predicament. But what happened? Did you lose your little mind? Did you go along with the crowd? Are you a bystander? Are you a bully? Your training didn't teach you how to react to certain things? We're going to have to find those things out so we can make sure that police and others in authority will not continue to react to African American people and people of color in a way where they don't see us. They don't see that we are human. We've got to change that mindset. We've got to change ourselves. I think you said something about us being a sport. You got to stop thinking that we are less than human and we can be treated any kind of way. Now, the police, this is the thing. All police should understand that you cannot dehumanize people, because when you don't know the purpose of a person, you're going to abuse them every time. And that's what we're having with our blue brothers and sisters. You are abusing. If you are looking down on people as inhumane, you are going to abuse them. And so we need these lessons to come out. We need training. We need better cops, to replace the rogue cops. We need citizens and everybody to stand up for justices and stand up for making things better. We've got to make sure when we are confronted. I know Mr. E said he would go toe to toe, but we've got to remain level-headed as much as we can, because it's so easy when somebody pop off at you that you pop off back at them. I mean, it's easy. I don't care if they're in blue, white, in the clergy or what. We always, want to defend ourselves, and so we see it time and time again where people want to defend themselves. But when you fall in the hands of an angry a judge or angry lawyer or angry person in blue, you don't know what's going to happen to you.
That's right.
So you got to try to get knowledge and what we can do. You got a lot of Black mothers and fathers teaching their children, their boys especially. You know what? When you see a police, you just freeze. Don't touch nothing. Don't do nothing. Don't say nothing. We've got to rehearse that. We're always rehearsing it. But I'm saying, on the other hand, police, you're going to have to understand that everybody you stop is not a criminal. And everybody that you stop shouldn't be dead because you stopped them. We're going to have to get ourselves together and get this thing right. So we're going to continue to follow this story, Mr. E. We're going to be praying for the family. Some of you all want to get involved and protest or lift your voice in some kind of way. I want to challenge those that have these platforms, radio or TV or social media platforms, to speak out and talk about it and see how we can improve. Those that have police in your families, have that conversation. Police, why don't you get some forums to come out and talk to the community leaders? Start getting with the community to listen to both sides and see what the problem may be, and let's start solving problems that can be solved. That's the thing. These problems can be solved, but if you don't work at solving them, you're going to hear it every look. We just heard George Floyd. Now we hear this one. Now it's going to go to we don't want that to come to in our lives. But I tell you, it's something going to have to give, Mr. E, in order to stop it. So other mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, the lawyer said it affects everybody.
That's
so
right.
People won't be, traumatized and in pain and hurt at the loss of their loved one.
That's right. And so, hey, look, listen, let's pull it together.
I
Let's
want to say one more
let's.
thing.
You said you got a song out, Miss Hinton said, let's get together,
Yes,
you and I, let's get
absolutely.
together, you know, and that's a great song that we need to listen to more. Let's get together, you and I, and make this place a better place.
Absolutely. I just wanted to say this, a lot of people are resolving issues through gun violence, and that is a problem. We're not just talking about the people in blue, the police or whatever, but how communities are full of guns and full of people not knowing how to resolve conflict. And that is becoming a problem because like I said, you got mothers, you got grandmas, aunties, you got dads and husbands losing children because and losing their loved ones through gun violence. People are resolving issues with violence, and I'm telling you, we've got to figure out what is affecting what. Our police are on 10 because they feel like they're dealing with a violent society or community. Are people on 10 because they feel like police brutality is everywhere? Are there grudges against police? Do the police have a grudge against society? Are we wrapped up around a society that is so violent and don't know how to manage, and they're on the road of self-destruction? We've got to find out these things and find out these answers, Mr. E. And so just want to say thank you for you all that join us. I saw Crystal Hinton up there, Annie Miles, thank you. And others that are on, thank you so much. Make sure you like, share, even comment on our feed. And make sure you continue to join us on Monday nights at 6 p.m. We're going to talk about, news stories. We're going to have entertainment. We're going to talk about, great topics. We're going to have guests too as well. And you can also sponsor either FYI Morning Show Live, Radio Morning Show Live, or you can sponsor this one. We want to say thank you to our sponsor, Crystal Records. You can check us out. The website is up there, www.crystalrecords.com. Also, Beard Gods. We want to say thank you to Mr. Chris Hinton. His website is www.beardgods.com. That's BEARDGODZ. Beard Gods. Go to that website, support young men, and there are a lot of young men that are doing great things. And Chris Hinton is on the road of being productive and positive, and I'm sure there's many more out there like him. So go ahead, Mr. E.
Oh, so we want to thank you so much. We want to thank you all. We want to thank Mr. Like Miss Hinton said, we want to take Chris Hinton, Crystal Hinton, Mr. Gregory Bell. We want to thank DC James, the head coach. We want to thank Ann Myers for joining us, and a host of others. We thank you so much. We thank you for lending your ear to us, because we want to make this thing, we want to bring great openings to you, great information to you. That's FYI, for your information. We want to make it work. We want you to be informed on everything that's going on around the world. You get it right here. And not just here on the internet, on the worldwide net, social media. We also live on radio also. That's WPCE 1400, WGPL 1350, Peace 95.3, WMVA 88.9, and on the World Wide Web. All you have to do is go to www.christianbroadcastingcompany.com, click and listen live. You can hear us in Iraq, Iran, all over the world. That's FYI. 7 years, growing strong, moving and grooving, just to bring you nothing but the best to help you to rise above mere survival.
I want you all to do me a favor. If you all have any subject matter, topic, or news that you want to bring us, make sure you inbox us. Make sure you let us know that, hey, I'd like to, hear about this topic, or I want you all to talk more about this or that. And if you have someone you think should be on our After Dark show, please make sure you all give us that suggestion and everything. But we want to say thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to share this feed, like it, and be blessed. Thank you, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook Live. Thank you all so much for being on with us. And Missy, thank you so much for joining us. I know you got to get up and get out, but thank you so much. And I want to say just God bless you all. We're going to see you Wednesday on FYI at 9:30 a.m. God bless you. Bye-bye.
2 up, 2 down, VA.